I thought it would be easier the more I talked about leaving MAGA, being a 3-time Trump voter. But I have to be completely honest with you that it's not getting easier, and it actually feels like it's getting more difficult because I'm gaining more empathy. And I don't think people really realize how counterintuitive the hate that I receive when you can take one look at my page and see that I am doing the work. I read a comment this morning that I'm not stitching because I don't want hate to come our way, but you'll understand why I'm reading it. I've been deconstructing from Christianity and left MAGA. I do not speak about it because the hate you receive from the left is no different from the hate you received when you were in the cult. I'm just minding my own business and rewiring my whole belief system. What people don't understand is how hard it is to actually wake up and realize your entire life has been a lie, and now you have to start over from scratch. I'm not going to allow any negativity from anyone into my life. It's hard enough to do this. Not only that, I'm not going to be a part of any political party or religion ever again. So the expectation of the left thinking we have to vote blue now in order to make amends or something is not something I want to be a part of. The amount of "I'll never forgive you" I see in your last video is enough for me to never try to speak up on anything that's happened to get me here. My entire family is deep Southern conservative Christian Republicans. It's been buried into my whole system since birth. Seeing my truth and removing myself from it has been the hardest thing I've ever done. I don't really know what else to say other than, I don't think that this is what the left wants. You've been shouting for people to wake up for years, and people do. And you just want to harp on, and I get it, that it didn't happen soon enough. And I don't believe that. I can't believe that. I have too much hope in my soul to roll over and die. I don't know what the solution is, but I know it's not to beat people while they're already down.
Everybody is having really strong emotional reactions to that video, and I'm not here to tell you that your reaction is right or wrong, but I have maybe a little bit of a different take. So I had not interacted with this account before a number of my mutuals decided to make reply videos to her. And she is a 3-time Trump voter who left MAGA in 2025 and now talks about ego death and deconstructing from MAGA and the far right. And I just want to say right up front that is a courageous thing to do. That's a necessary thing to do. I'm actually really grateful for ex-MAGA who are willing to talk openly about leaving the cult, what that process is like for them. In particular, when they are trying to bring other people out of the cult, help facilitate other folks' deconstruction. Now, an awful lot of people had a really visceral response to this video. I think the first reaction that I saw was this one.
I have to be completely honest with you.
Listen, I know that it sucks. It sucks. You're getting dogpiled on. You were lied to this whole time. All of that shit. I get it. I understand that it sucks. It's like you said, you did this 3 times. You voted for him 3 fucking times.
Okay, that creator goes on to yell quite a bit more. And I just want to say right up front that if you're leaving MAGA, if you've contributed to hate and harm, and you've contributed to the United States falling into fascism, you've contributed to an ethnic cleansing in this country, like people have died because of what you have supported, you're going to get yelled at. It's not going to feel good to come forward publicly and say, you know what, I was part of the problem. I now recognize what I did was wrong and I want to work to repair it. I don't actually have a problem with any creators online, any of the many people in the comments of video responses to this woman who are like, I don't owe you forgiveness. I don't have to be nice to you. You hurt me. You caused real harm. And I have every right to be flaming pissed about it. I don't think it's actually up to any of us to tell people who've been harmed by MAGA how they should feel, right? And I actually think it's very, very naive of people, probably because a lot of those people are lily white, right? It's very naive of people leaving MAGA to think that they're going to be welcomed with open arms by the greater community, particularly any marginalized group that was the focus of the hate of what these ex-MAGA had supported for years, 3-time Trump voter. But I think there's tension here. Multiple things are true at once. For people who leave MAGA, and this creator talks about it quite a bit, for people who leave MAGA or people who leave any kind of high control religion as well, right? I say this as an ex-Calvinist. I was a member of the Presbyterian Church in America. If you know, you know. Deconstructing is brutal. It's really awful to realize that your whole community, your whole way of life, your whole worldview is built on lies, is built on harm. People don't, right? People need to believe that they are good. People need to believe that they are supporting something just and righteous. And so it's absolutely crushing to realize that you've been the bad guy all along when you thought that you were supporting good causes. You thought that you were helping push this country in the right direction. You thought that your worldview was just and righteous. You thought you were on the side of good. It's absolutely obliterating to realize that actually you've been the bad guy. That's an excruciatingly painful process. And then to deconstruct, to lose your community, right? To lose everything you have known and have to start over. And then also to deal with your own conscience plaguing you. Like that is such, I have so much respect for other people who go through deconstruction processes because I know how incredibly, incredibly difficult that work is and how it goes on for years and years, right? I think too many of us see folks who leave the cult of MAGA or see folks who leave high control religions and we expect them like overnight to be woke. We expect them overnight to say the right things, do the right things, have the right positions. And it's a years long deconstruction process. And that creator started in 2025, just months ago. And she's willing to openly, publicly speak about that process because I think she earnestly believes that she's doing good, right? And I think she is, right? Normalizing leaving MAGA, normalizing waking up, normalizing having this kind of epiphany, I think is super, super important.
And, so for those that don't know, I am a 3-time Trump voter. I left MAGA in 2025. And, I am trying to use my voice the best way that I can and sharing information that I'm learning for the first time ever. I did not know about Katie Johnson before about a week ago. And if I didn't know about her, I'm willing to bet that there are a lot of people who are also have left MAGA or still in MAGA supporting it that don't know about her story either. Maybe they heard a blip about it, but there was nothing harping on this. We were probably just told that this was fake news. We were also just very focused on the fact that Trump was draining the swamp. He was just projecting. Like, I now see it for what it is now. But I never heard someone say, yeah, he's just projecting here. Like, he is the swamp. Never heard that. Never once, yes, I heard, you grab him by the thing, heard all that. But, I also was under this belief that, when people are trying to get to the top, there will be people, trying to prevent them from getting to the top. And I'm also under the impression that this is God's plan. This, he's anti-abortion. He's our guy. So there's a lot that went into the brainwashing and indoctrination into supporting MAGA. Now, I say all this to say that I will not be shamed for learning about this stuff for the first time. I understand that I was extremely ignorant, blissfully unaware, head in the sand, going about my life thinking, yeah, the world's so terrible, but, Jesus will come back soon. So what do I need to do? That was my moment, how disillusioned it is to live that way. Just to sit idly by and let this kind of stuff happen is not how I want to spend my life.
Likewise, I think it's really important that folks come alongside and help those people deconstruct, right? But who should be doing that work, right? It's not Black women, it's not trans folks, it's not immigrants, it's not people who've been targeted particularly heavily, the people who've been harmed the most by white MAGA or anybody in MAGA who has supported Donald Trump. It's the people who've done the deconstructing. It's the family members. It's the loved ones who have been previously in that community who are starting to walk away, starting to wake up. This woman is in the right place for her to be trying to help other MAGA, to bring people along in that process. I think that's part of paying recompense. That's part of wanting to work toward justice, is saying, I'm going to work to dismantle this system that I helped build and support. But also at the same time, nobody's going to be clapping for you and holding your hand and supporting you. And I've talked about this at length over the last year. Multiple things are happening at once. You are doing really hard, good work. And also people can still be mad at you even though you've made progress, even though you have realized that you've done wrong and now you want to do right. Nobody over here has to welcome you with open arms. I frequently reference this book called The Sunflower by Simon Wiesenthal. I think every Christian should read it because I think some of what is going on here is this evangelical understanding of forgiveness is when someone says, I admit I've done wrong, I've done bad, or I'm sorry, that we are obligatorily expected to forgive them, particularly if we are not the injured party. But other religions, other faith traditions don't have that concept of forgiveness. And Wiesenthal has this scenario of a dying Nazi soldier, and he's asking a man for forgiveness. And the man says, well, I'm not the people that you murdered, right? So I can't extend forgiveness to you. And he asks all of these folks from different faith traditions, how would you respond? Do you think that you should extend forgiveness to this Nazi soldier as he lays dying? Who has the right to forgive is the question there. Who has the right to forgive? Who is obligated to forgive? And should we be expecting forgiveness at all? I think when we look at Ex-MAGA and we look at their desire to deconstruct and to want to start to fix the wrongs that they have helped bring about, right? That doesn't mean that we are obligated to forgive them. It definitely does not mean we are obligated to extend trust to them. They don't need either of those things to continue to do the good and necessary work that they should be doing as part of their deconstruction, as part of seeking to sorry, I've got migraine brain today, seeking to pursue justice and restoration. So I guess the thing that I want to say to this creator or anybody who's going through a deconstruction process from a high control group and they want to make amends, if you truly want to make amends, if you truly want to right the wrongs, then your desire to do that good and necessary work should not be contingent on how other people receive that work, on how other people feel about you, and on other people's willingness to forgive and accept you. Really uncomfortable. It feels really bad to feel like you've done so much work and you've exposed yourself to so much pain and you've stripped back so much of who you are. You've lost so much and other people are not receptive and welcoming. I understand for a lot of Ex-MAGA, they want to find their next place of community, right? You're so disconnected. You want to belong. You want to be acknowledged for all of the good things that you've done so far. But that's not how this works. And I'm really sorry that you're in this difficult place where people are not yet willing to extend trust to you, and you've lost your community back here. You've lost your worldview. It's a very lonely and isolating place to be. I also think it's a really necessary place to be as part of a deconstruction journey. And I would just really encourage you, Carter, right now, and also the woman in your comments who was like really angry that people were not feeling warm and fuzzy about her, that people were venting their righteous anger on her and you and other Ex-MAGA. I would really encourage you to sit in this place of discomfort, of not being welcomed and not being trusted. That feeling of discomfort is really, really normal, and white people are not very good at having that kind of distress tolerance to be in a place where we are viewed negatively, particularly if you're coming out of MAGA, where all of this sense of like we are righteous and just and we are supporting Donald Trump, God's anointed, right? All of that baggage is in there. I really encourage you, Carter, and anybody else who's going through this, not to backslide, not to be like, this is really hard right now, because you've done so much work already. And you're now at this place where it's really tough, and it's going to be tough for a while. I promise you, it's worthy. It's good work. Don't shrink back from that. Don't backslide now because people are mad at you. I think a little radical acceptance of nobody's going to trust me, but I need to continue to do this good work and demonstrate changed behavior over time. That's how trust is built. When people see that your actions over time are helping move us toward justice, are repairing the wrongs, folks will start to extend trust to you. Folks will start to want to work with you, but they're not obligated to do that yet. They're allowed to be really mad. Don't police their feelings. Don't tell them that they can't be mad at you. But also you have to continue that forward journey, whether or not people are happy with you, whether or not people are mad at you. I think a lot of folks at the point you're in choose to give up, but you need to keep going. The journey that you're on is a good one. Keep going.